Dante's Divine Comedy, Inferno, Canto the Third. Before we begin, there's something I forgot to mention last time. Beatrice is Dante's wife.
Oh, that changes things.
I actually don't know if it's mentioned in the canto or anywhere in the comedy, or if you're just supposed to know it.
Let's see, Virgil and him were talking about being led by Beatrice through the different places. I remember not a lot happened, it was mostly talking.
As they're walking, they eventually reach a big stone gate. I imagine it looking kind of like the entrance to the Mines of Moria.
Okay.
There's a little bit written above it, a few lines telling you what the gate's about, warning you about going in. You'll probably recognize the last line written above the gate is...
Speak, friend, and enter.
No, not
okay.
that one. It is, abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
Oh, yeah. So that's from here, originally?
This is the original use of the phrase. Dante asks Virgil what's written above there, what does that all mean? And Virgil tells him, why don't you go into hell? This is the entrance.
Oh, wow. So, wait, where have they been this whole time, then?
They're in the mortal world. They've been in the mortal world so far.
Oh, I see. Okay, I thought this was, like, the first part of Inferno.
No.
Okay. I was like, it doesn't seem that bad, so...
No, okay, he's literally just in some scary woods. Being told you're about to enter hell is kind of scary. So Virgil gives him a reassuring smile, reaches out his hand, and he leads him in. The very first thing that Dante notices is he gets bombarded with this loud sound of people like crying and screaming.
Weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Dante puts his hands up to his head, covers his ears, and he asks, what the heck is going on? What is all this? Virgil says that the people who live in this area are the people who did neither good nor evil with their lives, but instead of serving God or serving the devil, they just served themselves. I'm not sure if I'm interpreting that correctly or not. It seems to me that if you serve yourself, you are doing evil.
Right.
Maybe he's saying something that I'm not quite following.
Sure.
There's also angels who never took a side in the rebellion against God. I can't personally remember if that's a biblical event or not, but the angels rebelled against God. Some of them stuck with him. Some of them rebelled against him. So the angels who didn't take a side, they're also here. Obviously, the people who are here and the angels, they can't be in heaven because heaven is perfect.
Sure.
They're not perfect. But they're also not sent to hell because the people who are in hell, the wicked, would feel better about themselves if they could see these people.
Oh, interesting.
The way I understand it is they'd feel like, oh, I chose evil, but at least I chose something.
Seems like to him, there are a lot of gray areas of morality, so therefore there must be a gray part of afterlife.
Dante asks why they're so upset because they're making these loud sounds, and Virgil tells him that here they never die, and so their lives are just this miserable thing, and they'd rather be anywhere else. He tells Dante to look at them, but not to speak to them. As we go forward, he'll stop every now and then to talk to someone about the real world, or talk to them about hell, talk to them about this or that. But here Virgil says, don't talk to anyone. As they're walking through, Dante sees somewhere in the distance a flag or a banner. It's something you would expect to have the symbol of a nation, but this one's always changing. It's constantly morphing and changing in different symbols, different colors. It's never the same.
Is it just standing on a flagpole, or is it like moving?
The way I understood it was maybe it was on the flagpole or something, but you can see it whipping around in the wind and flying around and randomly, you know, and a bunch of people are chasing it. In fact, there's so many people chasing it, Dante is amazed that so many people have even died in human history.
Whoa.
That's how many people are here chasing this. He recognizes a few of the people, including one very specific pope. He doesn't say him by name, but he says, oh, the pope who did that one thing. Wink, and everyone gets what he means. He likes to call out people in real life, including some popes that he doesn't like, by putting them in hell.
Nice.
Everyone's running around completely naked through a swamp. They're being chased and bombarded with wasps and hornets stinging them the entire time. All this stinging is causing them to bleed, and there's a lot of pus and tears, and all these bodily liquids are all going down onto the ground where it's festering with worms and maggots, which they're walking through and running through the entire time that they're going around.
Ugh.
And they see off in the distance people waiting by some river. Coming down the river, they see a ferry and an old man on the ferry. He's got bushy white hair, his eyes are glowing, and he's got circles of fire around each eye. He calls off to the dead souls who are waiting by the river and basically says like, all right, next stop, eternal torment. He sees Virgil and Dante and he starts shooing them off like, no, go somewhere else. I'm not going to take you on my ferry. I don't take living people. Virgil calls the ferryman Charon, which you probably recognize. He's the Greek ferryman of the dead.
Right.
And after Charon tries to shoo him away, Virgil says, chill out, we're on a mission from God. There's nothing you can do about it. Right? Charon gets very angry at this. All the spirits get extremely nervous and worked up. They're shifting around. They're very scared of Charon's angry outburst. But once Charon calms down, they all get onto the ferry willingly, which kind of confuses Dante a little bit. Why are these people walking on like, yep, let's go forward into hell? But Virgil explains that if you die in God's wrath, you get exactly what you choose. So even though it might seem like this isn't a great place to be, these people are here because they chose to be here. And so they go forward willingly. Because all the people who come here willingly, no good soul ever comes here.
Right.
Which is why Karen's so upset. So you're telling Dante, give Karen a break. This isn't in his job description. It's understandable that he gets a little bit upset. They've boarded the boat and they're kind of on their way. There's this sudden earthquake or something, and Dante actually faints, which is where the canto ends.
Oh, wow.
Funnily enough. So this is a character blacks out, fades to black. He'll wake up in the next scene.
Wow.